Okay, so a few of you may be familiar with this board I built back 2 or 3 years ago now, or maybe longer, maybe 4 years ago, to go ampless on my bass. It did have a honeypot fuzz in here as well, but I've used it for gigs and recordings and everything over the last few years, and it's been great. I'm completely ampless now. If we've got a gig, we use our PA, which has got a great sub, and I can just plug straight in. Anyway, we've got a wedding coming up. A friend of ours is getting married, and we're playing at the wedding, and he's also a guitar player and is going to come and play a few numbers. But because it's a wedding venue, we've been told no amps on stage. I've played at wedding venues before, where you can't have live drum kits, you have to have electronic drum kits, and you have to have in-ear monitors, and no amps. It's just basically so they can control the sound completely, which I guess is fine if that's their license. So I'm fine, and the band are fine, but I need to put a pedal board together for the groom, our friend who's getting married, so he can come up and play a few songs on stage, because he doesn't have any pedals. So I decided I'm going to make him, or put together for him, a guitar pedal board, so he can be ampless on the day. So with that in mind, I have this board that I've had for quite a while. I sort of use for the odd bit of guitar playing that I do, which is mostly at home or just at a studio. I'm not a gigging guitarist. I play for fun. I only play bass in bands, really. So my gigging pedal board is the bass one we just saw. But I've got this, and it's, as you can see, it's got a tuner and a power supply on it, but nothing else, because I kind of use it as and whenever I need. I adjust it and move things around. So I'm going to try and build Alex something, the groom, on this board, so he can play at his wedding. So the first thing I'm thinking is he's quite a rock player, and I think every guitar player is going to need one of these, and that's an overdrive. And I've got a choice of overdrives. I've got the Nooks OD3, I've got the Dan Electro Fab, and I've also got a Digitech Bad Monkey, which I know recently, in the last year or so, everybody's been going crazy for, because someone on the internet said they sound like a clone. Well, I've got one. I hardly ever use it. They're great for pushing valve amps, I guess, but I don't have a valve amp anyway. So yeah, they're our options for overdrive. I was also going to put a delay on, so he's got things for solos and that kind of thing. I don't know if he's going to play any solos, but we've got the tap room delay, which is quite a nice delay, quite simple to use. And for an amp, I was going to use this. Now this is for bass, really. This is the Sonic 8 Boom Avenue. I bought this basically before I bought the Battalion, which is on my board, on my bass board. I was going to use this, but the Battalion sounds, well, it's just got more features that I like. But this is great. It's a really good little effects unit that you can go straight into a PA via XLR, and it's powered and everything, but I never use it. And I wondered if I could just use the preamp section, none of the effects, just the preamp section, to be the amp to feed the PA. Because in my mind, I think an amp's an amp, right? So it doesn't matter that it's a bass amp or a guitar amp. It's got volume, gain, bass, treble and middle. It should just work, right? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that somewhere up here, and then which overdrive to use? I really like the Fab overdrive. I think it sounds fab. But the Bad Monkey is... Do you know what? I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm going to go with the Nooks because the Nooks is quite reliable. They're really nice for the money. They're unbelievably cheap. I think they're about 25-30 quid. And they sound great. And we'll have the option to swap it out if Alex doesn't like the overdrive that I've given him. So let's go with the Nooks. Put that on there. And we'll go with the tap room delay. And he's got a tuner, there's a chromatic tuner there. It's a Behringer one. There's nothing wrong with the Behringer tuners. They work, they sound great, they don't hiss. Yes, they're made of plastic, but unless you know, kicking them very hard, they're not going to break. I like the Behringer tuners, I think they're great. So that's what we'll go with. We'll have the option maybe of the Bad Monkey on the day. Right, let's put it together. So for this demo, we're going to use my white vintage VS6 SG style guitar. We're going to come straight out of the Sonic 8 preamp into my Zoom PodTrack P4, and we're going to record the signal direct, which is what you'll be hearing. So this is just the preamp guitar, not any other pedals on, through the preamp straight into the recorder on the neck pickup. Sounds pretty rich actually. Let's try the bridge pickup. I'm pretty pleased with that. It's not a bad sound at all. So he's a rock guy, my friend, who's going to be using this. So I've given him a couple of things. I've given him an overdrive and a delay. So I've gone for the Nooks OD3. We'll just switch that on and give that a bit of a chunk. Sounds pretty good, and I've also given him a delay in case he wants to do any solo stuff, sort of. You can hear that kind of nice little sort of tail of delay on the tap room. Which is quite nice, and he can add that and take that away as much as he wants. So if we take the overdrive off and just leave the delay on, maybe on the neck pickup, see what that sounds like. Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. I'm pretty pleased with that. That all seems to be working, so the next thing to do is to go to the venue and do the gig.
2. Sit down.